In Madison, I'm a better athlete than Alex Strope. Sports Center brought to you by Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania. Coverage of the girls' basketball playoffs begins this weekend. Regional semifinal Friday night, Delavan Darien at Monona Grove, and then regional final Saturday night featuring the winner of Friday's game. The Prep Mania postseason on 100.5 ESPN and live video streaming free on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. The Wisconsin Badgers, 11th ranked in the country, have a huge showdown on Sunday afternoon visiting 8th ranked Michigan State, two of the top three teams in the Big Ten standings entering play today. Earlier today on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, Badgers forward Nolan Winter joined the jump around with Jim Rutledge and Pablo Iglesias previewing Sunday's contest.
We've had this one circled for a while. Breslin Center is one of the toughest places to play in college basketball, and I think all of us just love that challenge. We went into Mackey knowing that that's one of the toughest places and one of the tougher teams when they're at home, and we went in there just looking forward to it, playing with joy, having fun there, just executing what we do, and knowing that if we can do that to our fullest potential, then we can beat anyone.
Subscribe for the Jump Around podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, and watch it back on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Bucks host the Nuggets tonight, 7 o'clock tip. Pregame coverage starts at 6:30 here on Madison's home of the Bucks.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
I love how you point out, like, fencing is not cool, but, like, curling? I mean, like, Matt, where you made fun
Yeah,
of
but Matt's cool now, though.
We won curling. You remember when curling Matty Hamilton won into Canada and said, this is our game now? You remember that? When you guys throw that rock on the ice and you curve it like it's bocce, but we win it?
I don't
If
know.
I went fencing and won a gold medal, it would
But
be
there's
cool.
a difference between dressing up like a knight in shining armor and going poke, poke versus like sweep, 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 sweep.
Lovely sound effect.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. He is Matt Hamilton in his Indiana Jones hat.
Hello.
I am Jim Rutledge in my ESPN Madison quarter zip, team quarter zip over here. Primetime Wallersheim in his ESPN Milwaukee full zip, all in the Everlight Solar Studio. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. You'll also see during the break the horrendous, I would say hilariously horrendous graphics about Molly Brown returning.
Yeah.
That we have now just decided to put the number over the prior number.
Well, since we can't afford a new graphics department, we had to save that money by just like letting Ryan go ahead and plop another number out. We have to pay Molly now that she's back. So like, I don't blame you.
Matt, graphic design is my passion. I don't want you criticizing my work like that, especially not in front of company.
I wouldn't quit your day job, bud.
Wow.
You're a good producer. That graphic design you got is a little below average, a little below expectations that we have for primetime athleticism Wallersheim.
So if I can actually throw somebody else, another producer under the bus, this is
absolutely.
kind of a Riley Yauk issue. Riley Yauk is the one who made the original graphic, which is very good. If you look on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream, you can see the countdown to Molly Braun when she returns next Tuesday, which is just 5 days away. But Riley only made the initial version, which had a 7-day away countdown. It's really cool. It's a great block number, sort of like drop shadows, really well animated piece of artwork, I would say.
Yeah.
But he never gave us any of the updated versions for 5, 6, 7, or any other day.
Yeah.
So
you're doing your best. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If graphic design's your passion, I would stick to your day job and keep your passion to the weekends.
Look, do you know how many days away it is until Molly returns?
It's either 5 or 7.
Well, 5's on top of 7, so you can just do the math.
Take that for data.
So 2.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, she's back on Saturday, everyone.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about today. And later in the day, we did have Nolan Winter on the jump around, and he threw some shade at Alex Stroh for his terrible performance in his mock combine.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that in throwing stones. We are presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue. You know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
I do have the power. And in one of the videos, though, and what made me think about it real quick here was that I am currently seeing Shamir Stewart, I believe a defensive line prospect, Shamar Stewart, 10-foot, 11-inch broad jump. Alex Strofe did
6'1".
Yeah.
Yeah.
So over 4 feet.
That's a big discrepancy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch the video, he had to be coached on how to jump.
Yes.
From Brad Norman.
Yes.
That's not good.
And I did hear Brad Norman say that Chris Orr said that Brad Norman disgraced the combine jersey by letting Alex Strofe wear it.
Oh.
During that.
That might be true.
Lucky by a billion.
Yeah. Not Alex Strofe by a billion. I would bet billions against Alex Strofe winning any sort of athletic contest. Endeavor. So, speaking of betting, though, I wanted to get into this idea of the Packers in another Super Bowl and fandom. And Pro Football Talk, obviously there's Bears ties there with Chicago, and they were talking with Ben Johnson, and they've asked a few people this question, but they asked Ben Johnson a specific question about, like, hey, kind of a what if, sort of like those sort of, hey, man, would you
deal with the devil?
Yeah, deal with the devil
situation.
sort of question. And I want to spin it to Packer fans, but let's hear Pro Football Talk with Ben Johnson.
Jim.
I thought you're not ready?
No, not even remotely.
Oh, I thought we were leading with that. Okay, all right, so we will get to it in a minute here.
Brian, stick with graphic design.
Yeah, I was about to say, graphic design is still my passion,
Yes,
Jim.
no,
All right, don't get it twisted.
That's fine.
Clearly.
All right. Well, let me take a second here. Canopy Wealth Management, they are a fee-based advisory firm that does much better than Ryan does sometimes at producing. They don't chase commissions, and they never back gimmicks or instruments that chase single-day returns or put your long-term goals at risk. The team at Canopy creates strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. Canopy Wealth Management, care, competence, and clarity aren't just buzzwords, they're a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started with them today. That's canopy-wealth.com. So Ben Johnson was asked a question.
By Pro Football Talk?
Not Pro Football Talk. What's the show?
PFT commentary.
PFT commentary.
Pardon my take on Barstool Sports.
Pardon my take. My fault. I don't follow
You said Pro Football Talk, and obviously there's a Chicago tie there, and I was like, what is he? What?
Sorry.
I was
what
like, Mike Florio likes the Vikings, doesn't he?
You're right. I don't ever watch the show. I'm not a Barstool guy, but I know Big Cat is on the show, and they interviewed Ben Johnson. What's the name of the show again?
It is Pardon My Take, PMT.
Pardon My Take. So that's my fault. So here is Ben Johnson, a Pardon My Take.
We got to interview Caleb on the podcast back in August of last year, and I asked him this question. I'm curious to know your answer to it as well. But if there was a button that you could press, and if you pressed the button, the Bears would win 10 Super Bowls, but one random Bears fan would die, would you press that button?
Whew. I already gave up my life, so as long as they build a statue being like, he died for 10
Can I not just give a body part instead?
Yeah.
Pinky?
Yeah, which
pinky.
body part would you sacrifice?
Well, I've got the 3 kids. My wife is already telling me what I need to do next. So I guess we can go with the testicles.
That
right?
testicles,
That works. Done.
Okay.
She said I'm good.
You didn't have to do both of them. You could have just said one.
One's fine.
Okay, just one.
We got
dog.
Yeah. That is a dog answer there.
The bold answer.
Yeah. I mean, he's got 3 kids. I mean, it's clever.
Well, it's a dog answer because, losing both of your testicles.
Yeah, neutered.
That's what happens to most dogs. Or Bears head coaches.
Lose that gumption for football.
Yeah. So I want to ask Packer fans out there, would you cut off, and what finger?
A digit.
Any finger?
You paused after cut off.
Would you cut off?
It's called a dramatic pause, right?
I thought Jim was about to audible the poll question we talked about.
I don't think you'd cut off a testicle for a Super Bowl this year.
Not as a fan.
Not as a fan.
No.
Just one?
Yeah.
You're probably right.
I mean,
probably don't.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say, Matt?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Jim's got 2 kids. He might do that for the Bears.
This is
win this year.
Preposterous that I've even heard that.
For just one?
You're not even using them. Like, just one.
So you can tell Rutledge that.
Look, it's form over functionality sometimes, I don't know. I don't want to go to cut off a testicle, especially.
You need to go
You
there.
don't need to make this the Bears fan. Yeah, maybe we go a little bit further. But like Packer fans, you got some Super Bowls.
Yeah.
But it's been a little bit. We talked about the dusty Super Bowls. So we circle around this initially, like, will you cut off an appendage? And then we thought, let's get to the hand. Because for Packers fans to win a Super Bowl, I think, would you cut off a finger? And now we've narrowed it down to. So are we narrowing it down any finger, or are we narrowing it down to thumb? Like, how are we circling into this?
I think what we decided on was thumb on your non-dominant hand or pointer finger on your dominant hand.
I don't think it was that. We were talking pinky or thumb.
Well, Matt
no, there's no one's ever choosing the thumb over the pinky.
Well, my question
that's why we're doing pointer finger on your dominant hand.
Well, I'd want to know, would you be willing to cut off a pinky? Or would you be willing to go all the way to cut off a thumb? Or are you not willing to cut off a finger?
Like it's scaled.
Yes, exactly. How badly do you want it?
Gotcha.
How much of a dog are you?
Dog. All right.
Then you word it how you want to, Ryan. Because I think we get the gist.
Hey, Matt Hamilton. Cutting off appendages is my passion.
Yeah,
okay?
no, I'm aware. I know if I could make that deal, if anyone could cut off my appendage, it would be you, because I know it would be done clinically,
there you go,
quickly, efficiently, and I'd have no idea who did it.
Dog. Siding Unlimited, a dog could do it. Siding Unlimited poll question here: would you cut off a pinky, a thumb, or nothing? For the Packers, is that how we're wording it here?
What would you be willing to do for the Packers to win a Super Bowl?
What would you be willing to do for the Packers to win a Super Bowl this year? Cut off your pinky, thumb, or you're keeping all your appendages.
Yeah, hope for the best.
844-770-3776. That's the Cardinals Talking text line. Less is more. Matt?
Man, that is tough. I don't want. Here's the thing. I might go and say no, and I don't want these hardos calling in like, you wouldn't cut off your finger for the Packers. Like, you call yourself.
I mean, how much do you
diehard.
need your pinky?
I mean, I don't think I needed a ton.
Like, how long do you play this out? If it's a couple more years, do you do it? Like, at some point, like, do you get thirsty enough?
Post-curling, I think it would be like, yeah, I have no real use for my hand anymore.
That's fair, yeah.
Radio is a handless game. I could do this with no fingers.
Do you need all your fingers to curl?
I think
like
just for grip
pinky?
strength, sweeping is important.
Even the pinky?
Grip strength. So, I mean, yeah, the pinky definitely helps with grip strength. Like, it's not the primary, but it's a part of it for sure. And balance on your fingers.
Could you end up in the Paralympics for curling if you missing a finger?
Man, I doubt it. That'd be sweet, though. But I don't think so. No, definitely not.
All right, 844-770-3776. Would you cut off a pinky, a thumb, or nothing? What kind of commitment level do you have to guarantee a Packers Super Bowl win next year?
What about like the pinky at the first knuckle?
No, you got a whole pinky.
Whole pinky? Oh, my God.
844-770-3776. The Cardinals Talking text line. List is more.
If you cut it off at the knuckle, then what's the point of the rest of it? Just the nub? What's the point of having a nub?
Aesthetics?
Yeah.
Is it better?
Maybe slightly.
I'd say
just a four-fingered hand. I'd look like Mickey Mouse in the 20s.
Better. I feel like 4 fingers.
All my
versus
gloves
3
would be like a waste. I've got so many pairs of gloves, just wasted, whole finger. Useless.
Just become a mittens guy.
Gonna have to. Or I'm gonna have to find one Mickey Mouse glove and the rest of my other hand can be a normal glove.
Man, 844-770-3776. Cardinals Talking text line in honor of Ben Johnson saying that he would give up his testicles if it guaranteed the Bears 10 Super Bowls. Bears coach Ben Johnson on Part of My Take said that. And we are asking you, as a Packer fan, would you give up a pinky finger, a thumb, or nothing if it guaranteed a Packers Super Bowl win next year?
Oh, my gosh. I'm actually thinking about it. Like, I think I might go pinky. I'm right in between pinky and not at all. Because, like, they've won twice in my lifetime. I can just make a bold assumption that they'll do it again and not have to lose any digits.
That's true. But
like, the guarantee of it for next year would be nice.
I guess you'd have the story of, like, you did it.
I know.
Like, you're, like, some news
This
stories.
kind of falls in line with those people, like, preseason that get, like, Super Bowl tattoos for their team.
Would you rather get a Super Bowl tattoo or cut off a finger?
I'd rather get a Super Bowl tattoo that's wrong than cut off a finger for sure.
Really?
Oh, my gosh. I've got so many stupid tattoos already, it doesn't even matter. Like, I would do that for sure.
That's true. That's true. But 844-770-3776. You can chime in on that. Pat Sadler of the Pat McAfee Show says he'd cut off his middle finger. That really wasn't an option. I don't. It's the middle finger. Like, what's the least useful finger?
It's got to be your pinky. Like, your middle finger is where the strength of your hand is coming from.
Your grip is smaller if you lose your pinky.
It is.
Yeah.
But like, it's just a stronger finger. Your middle finger and pointer finger are the most important for grip strength. Along with your thumb. So, like, those 3 fingers should be just, like, off limits. If you had to live your life as, like, the claw and just have those 3 fingers, you'd be fine.
All right, so looking it up here on Google. We're looking this up on Google because Ben Johnson said on Part of My Take that he would give up his testicles if the Bears were guaranteed to win 10 straight Super Bowls. And we are asking you what appendage, or not what appendage, we decided to move off of that.
Yeah, we already
Would you
decided.
cut off your finger, your pinky finger, your thumb, or nothing at all if it guaranteed the Packers a Super Bowl? Let's get out to Curtis and Madison.
Hey, Curtis.
Hey, how you guys doing? Thanks for taking my call. And you guys, I think I've called them before.
Yeah.
So I'm from a Lions fan perspective, okay? From someone who's never won. You guys, Packer fans, have won Super Bowls. The Bears have at least won in my generation. I saw them in '85. And I still would not cut any part of my body off for guarantee of any Super Bowl win because I've already given my heart, time, money, life, fights with the wife when I'm watching a game and pissed off, fights with buddies over games. I put it all in there. I've given enough. It's time for them to produce.
Amen.
Let's go.
That's fair.
Here's the thing about that is I feel like you can continue living your life, continuing to give your tears, your soul, your blood, your sweat, or for the low price of one pinky, you could just be done with it. You could wash your hands with it. You could be done being a fan forever. It's like, I saw my Super Bowl. We are good.
Yes.
Like, we have made it.
You know you got one more. I mean, like, Cubs fans, they know that dread of, like, I'm not going to see this in my lifetime. And you're right, Matt, but you are, like, nothing's guaranteed, and it is hard to win Super Bowls. Dan Stoughton chimes in. Ronnie Lott had half his pinky cut off so he could play the following week, stop being a bunch of candy behinds, and do it for the Packers.
Yeah, exactly. Those were the texts I was expecting when I was like, I don't know if I can cut off a digit.
The Adam Madison says the real question is, can Matt golf if he's down a pinky?
No, I'm an interlock golfer too, which means I loop my pointer finger on one hand with my pinky on the other. That I'd have to learn how to be an overlap golfer, which would be detrimental to the golf game, I'm sure.
844-770-3776. Do we have the poll question posted yet there, Prime, or not yet?
It's a lot of wording in this one. I want to get the Ben Johnson aspect in there. It's kind of
that's
a paragraph.
fine. So what we're basically asking you, in honor of Ben Johnson saying that he would lose both his testicles and guaranteed the Bears 10 Super Bowl wins. Dog. We are asking you, would you give up a pinky, a thumb, or nothing at all if it guaranteed a Packers Super Bowl next season?
So the first thing that popped in my head when Curtis said, I've put in my blood, my sweat, the tears, like fights with my wife, extensive. It's kind of like, it's a similar question to like your old car that needs a lot of work. Maybe it's got like 180 to 200,000 miles on it. Things start going wrong on it. It was like, would you give up a pinky just to be done with having to fix that old car and just having it be good? Be like, we're good. It's not going to need more money or work for a while. Like, my first thought was, you know what? Yeah, I'd consider it to guarantee my car runs fine for the rest of, its life. It's life as a motor. I would probably take that bet. This one's tricky, Jim.
We'll get to more on the other side. We are asking you, would you cut off your pinky, your thumb, or you're not giving up any fingers for the Packers for guaranteeing a Packers Super Bowl victory next year? This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
We're bringing Molly back. Yeah.
Your outfit today is absolutely god-awful garbage. You look like Napoleon Dynamite. Do you have tater tots in your pocket?
Molly Brown returns to Jim, Matt, and Molly Tuesday, March 4th.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. I'm here with Nikki. She has also worked with the team at Madison Weight Loss. Nikki, you look great. Tell me how much weight you've lost and how long it took.
I lost 28 pounds in the first 8 weeks. And since then, I've lost another 7 just with staying on the maintenance program. So 35 total.
That's incredible. What changed about your health with the weight you've lost with Madison Weight Loss?
Before I started with this program, I had entered prediabetes. I had gotten my first high cholesterol reading at the doctor. All of those things normalized 8 weeks. No problem.
And what kinds of things can you now do that you couldn't before?
For the first time in my life, I feel like I'm able to eat healthy and eat the junk food I love at the same time without going off the deep end.
What would you tell someone who is like you and thinking about losing weight with Madison Weight Loss?
Oh my goodness, please don't wait any longer. To anybody listening who has ever even thought of it, just do it. You don't have anything to lose except a whole lot of weight. In a very short amount of time, you're going to feel like a new person.
Schedule a free consultation at MadisonWeightLoss.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This station has conducted a test of the emergency alert system.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV.
Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues. Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semra with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Matt Buckman from Cambridge High School. You're a Blue Jay.
Yep.
What's it like to be a Blue Jay?
Oh, it's great. The support from everyone here in the school, it's a great place to be.
Play football and also golf. You had a conference championship in football.
Yep.
Going for a conference championship in basketball.
Yep.
So going for the trifecta this year, right?
Yep.
All three. How does football impact basketball, golf, and how do they kind of relate for you?
Our football coach, Coach Nellis, he always preaches to all of us about how important it is to be three-sport athletes. And he likes to take guys who played in the Super Bowl and say, well, like 80% of those guys played 3 sports in high school. And so I think there is like some truth to that.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. Molly Brown out with babies till next Tuesday. That's when she returns. Matt Hamilton with me, Jim Rutledge in the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. Primetime Wollersheim here with me as well. And you can get into the show on the Carbos Talking text line, 844-770-3776. List is more. Our Siding Unlimited poll question is posted at Jim, Matt, and Molly on Twitter. Ben Johnson said he'd be willing to cut off his family jewels for the Bears to win 10 Super Bowls. Which finger would you be willing to cut off for the Packers to win a Super Bowl this season? We left off this season, but that's fine. That's fine. This season is our main poll question there. And right now, 67% of you say pinky finger.
But they would.
Cut off a pinky finger, yep.
See, that's...
Nobody's cutting off a thumb.
I mean, I agree with that. That's excessive. That is like detrimental to your quality of life. Like, I think you lose a pinky and keep 99.99% of your quality of life. You lose a thumb, You need help grabbing stuff. Like, just I think it's over.
How many Super Bowls would you then cut off?
Maybe for the 10 Super Bowls that Ben Johnson was promised.
Yeah,
I'd maybe consider it. Is it like 10 in a row? Like some totally insurmountable feat that no one else will ever be able to accomplish, where the Packers could go down as the greatest franchise ever?
Also,
like,
you got the next.
I would do it like for the next 10 years, and then after that 10 years is up, I'd quit radio, and I'd never talk to you again about it. So I could just go out on top. But yeah,
I thought you were going to say, like,
maybe for that.
I'd give up my other thumb to get 10 more.
I mean, no, at 10, I think you're undisputed the greatest franchise of all time if you win 10 in a row. I'd maybe go thumb for the next 10 Super Bowls in a row.
Prime?
I mean, if you cut off that many fingers, like, you can't even wear the rings. Like, what's...
It's just one. It's just the thumb.
Yeah, but it's just like you kind of lose the value after a while, right? Like, I agree with your first take. Like, it's just once you get up to like 10, it's like even Tom Brady would be like, I might want to scale it back a little bit, guys.
Well, that's why I wouldn't go a second thumb in another 10 years. I'm like, I'm good with 10.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine it'd be 10 in a row, too. Because, I mean, if we're being practical here, guys.
We're being very practical.
If we're being practical here, then yeah, I mean, for him to be the head coach, for him to get that many Super Bowl wins, it would probably have to happen within, like, a Patriots dynasty type window, which so maybe once every other year. Maybe that's what it is.
I don't want to. I would be less likely to take that deal.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
10 in a row sounds a lot nicer than every other year. You don't set any records doing that other than eventually getting the most Super Bowls.
So basically, you wouldn't cut off your thumb for the Patriots dynasty.
No.
As a fan.
Whoa, it's tempting, but I still say no. I want record-setting, like maybe an undefeated season in there.
Oh, that's all. It's all out there. It's all possible. It's just not guaranteed. Maybe if you cut off like
I want the record for most Super Bowl wins in a row, and the idea of having 10 in a row, insurmountable, never to be happen again. Until the next dork who wants to cut his thumb off for his team, sell his
That's
soul.
what I'm saying. Like, how do we start? Like,
yeah,
how do we start petering this out? It's going to be turn into wrestling. We're just going to know that.
Yeah, everybody's going to be cutting off their thumbs.
Right.
No,
we're going to fall behind the apes because we're not going to have any thumbs, but
yeah,
our teams will be winning championships.
Yeah.
How many Philadelphia Eagles fans do you think are walking around without thumbs if this is the case? Just the entire city of Philly. Just nobody can pick up their beer at the bar.
They're going to have a lot of specialty handles. And
a lot of straws. Yeah. A lot of straws at the bars in Philly.
Yeah, a lot of universal design sort of buildings where you can get in and out, whatever your disability is. TJ from the road chimes in, not giving up any digits for a Super Bowl. And then he has a note on your old car question. Side note, unless the vehicle is a lemon, if properly maintained, garage stored, 200,000 miles is doable. $600 car payment equals $7,200 a year, $72,000 in 10 years. If it's invested right, that is a lot of money.
Yeah, fair.
Yes, that is very much a dad answer, but it is true.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad.
And then we have Dan Stoughton chiming in, just throwing it out there. I'd cut off a foam finger today if the Packers went to the Super Bowl next season. Then he said, could he keep it cryologically frozen and reattach it the day after Super Bowl if he did cut off a finger?
I mean, yeah, sure. I'll let you do that.
Okay. I didn't know it can hold that long, but okay.
Yeah, okay. I don't think it can either, and I can't imagine it's going to work nearly as well. I'll probably have just made peace with it by then.
You'd be like the Tin Man. All right, let's hear. So they did allude to it on Part of My Take when they asked Ben Johnson about pushing the button and guaranteeing 10 Super Bowls. And Ben Johnson pushed back and said, instead of killing one Bears fan, can I just lose an appendage? And he volunteered his testicles. And because he has 3 children and sounds like a vasectomy might be in his future. Dog. I don't think that's what vasectomies are. But
no, I don't think so either.
I'm 90% sure that that's not what they are. But they did reference that they asked Caleb Williams the same question. Let's get Caleb Williams' answer.
If there was a button, if you had a button, and if you pushed it, one Bears fan would die. But you would win 10 Super Bowls. Do you press the button?
You can kill me.
That was Big Cat chiming in.
You don't know which Bears fan's going to die. Just one.
10 Super Bowls?
10 Super Bowls. I feel like most Bears fans would be like, I'll throw my name
I'd press
in
the button for you.
Base sacrifice?
Yeah.
I'd press the button for you.
Love.
It is love.
So do you press the button? I think
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'm saying I'll take it, Caleb.
I'm reading
You
your
can
body
kill me
language.
right
You're
now.
pressing the button many times.
Yeah, you're getting 30 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Smashing it.
Yeah, there's, and then
that.
you can see the video.
I would press the button.
Caleb mimes to smash it.
Super Bowls.
Yeah.
That's
a lot of Super Bowls.
Yeah, that's great.
If there was a button.
So I don't really. You guys aren't sacrificing your lives for the Packers Super Bowl, correct?
No.
What do you
Ted?
think this is?
Ted? I don't
No.
know. Big Cat threw his name out there. Yeah, so I don't know.
Do my grandchildren inherit the Super Bowl rings? Like, do we get our name on the trophy? Is Wollersheim etched next to Lombardi?
I feel like it should be.
Yeah,
Like,
at that point.
Yeah, if that's the sacrifice, the deal with the devil, what's the Rumpelstiltskin sort of thing? Is that the? Why are you looking at me like you don't know who Rumpelstiltskin is?
Because I don't.
Do you know who Rumpelstiltskin is?
Isn't that the bad guy that tricked like a Disney princess or something into weaving?
Rumpelstiltskin is a German fairy tale about a mysterious gnome-like man who spins straw into gold in exchange for a woman's firstborn child.
That is neat.
And so basically, that's what she needed to be able to like stay in the castle. And then so she gave up her firstborn child.
Is this the stuff you read to your kids?
It's Grimm. It's Grimm Brothers Grimm fairy tale.
Grim.
Yeah, but it's Brothers Grimm fairy tale.
It's awfully grim.
Do you not? How do you not know the story of Rumpelstiltskin?
Because my parents weren't reading me horror stories to go to bed at
From
night.
1812.
Yeah, when they still had like pneumonia, was like running rampant and killing most kids.
Well, that might be making a comeback. All right, we're gonna get Evan Cohen coming up next. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
You never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet. Save $9,400 off MSRP on a 2025 Silverado 1500 RST Crew Cab 4x4 and get financing as low as 2.4%. Includes 6420 discount, 500 customer cash, and 1,500 trade assistance rebate. Visit Zimbrick Chevrolet Sun Prairie and ZimbrickChevrolet.com for Dane County's largest selection of Chevys. Offer ends March 3rd. Never overpay. Shop Zimbrick Chevrolet.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's game time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year, I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and H&R benefits consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
This is our crew.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball is coming to ESPN Madison.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Every pitch, every dramatic moment, every
fly ball left field. Back. Still back. It is up and gone.
Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
The inaugural student-led Wisconsin Sports Business Conference is happening March 6th at the University of Wisconsin. Get ready for speakers from around the sports world like former ESPN insider Adrian Wojnarowski, along with NFL executive and former Badgers football star Troy Vincent. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to network and learn from some of the biggest names in the business of sports. Register today at wisconsinsbc.com. That's March 6th at UW-Madison. We'll catch you there.
As you're putting your spring calendar together, we'd love to have you join us Saturday, May 17th for Marco Sicchi's 7th annual Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament to support the American Family Children's Hospital UW Carbone Cancer Center. We're on the Madison Chain of Lakes at 8 a.m., then back at the Alliant Energy Center at 2 p.m. for happy hour, dinner, and live and silent auctions, plus a chance to win an Alumacraft fishing boat. To sign up and get more info, go to castingforkids.org. Casting4kids.org.
ESPN Wisconsin celebrates National Girls and Women in Sports Day all month long. Tune in to ESPN Wisconsin's special program, Lead Her Forward, hosted by Jen Latta and Michelle Smallman, presented by Love Madison Volleyball. The show features a variety of special guests celebrating the achievements of women in sports. Listen to inspiring stories and hear how they're breaking barriers for future generations. Catch Lead Her Forward on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Brewers baseball is in the air.
It's back, and it is up, and it is gone. A walk-off homer for Vinny Capra.
Spring back into the baseball season on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers.
But, it seems like you're deferring to someone that's not actually on the show. And she's already your girlfriend. Friends are people that you're honest with no matter what. So I'm questioning whether or not you actually know how to be friends with someone.
He doesn't need a pat on the back. He's not you.
Well,
who's a good co-host?
And Evan Cohen, who co-hosts Unsportsmanlike right here on ESPN Radio.
From Madison to the Big Apple, it's time for Evan Cohen on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
And we are thrilled to welcome in Evan Cohen. A reminder that Molly Brown returns on Tuesday, and our first live remote in honor of Molly Brown's favorite places to do live remotes at will be at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. The Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl Happy Hour will be going on. Steak sandwich, fried calamari, the burger over there, Matt Hamilton, fantastic.
Oh, man.
And then after the show, we'll enjoy a Coors Light over at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. If you make your way over there any day of the week, make sure to say hi to Lee and the best bartender in town, Kevin, at the Horseshoe Bar. Evan Cohen, how happy are you that going forward, Molly Brown will be a part of our interviews with you?
Well, it'll be nice to have one person here consistently besides me, so it'll be Molly and I both, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Forget it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're very unreliable. But Matt, he did go out and lose with Team Schuster and lose with his sister to be around more right now. So he didn't win nationals with Team Schuster, and you didn't win nationals with your sister in mixed doubles, so you didn't have to go to Worlds, which is what you've done every other year.
Are you suggesting Matt tanked to do the show? Is that what you're suggesting, Jim?
Just more to win the bet of I will be more present during Molly's maternity leave. You seem to put money on Molly. I wanted to prove you so wrong. So that is why I did that.
He might be an idiot, but he's competitive.
Matt, here's where it gets a little tricky. I can't, and none of us can, try to bait her to come back during maternity leave. So, you are right in that you win the bet, but it's also very tricky because, I can't try to do the bet in order for her to win because I think that's violating countless HR rules and regulations.
That is a very good point. That's why I felt good about myself. I liked my chances. So here we are.
Evan, what is your? I know obviously you're hosting shows now, and you listen on sport. You can hear on Sportsmanlike.
Figure that out, Jim.
Yeah, Evan Cohen, weekday mornings here on ESPN Madison with Unsportsmanlike.
Matt, Jim just pointed out. Yeah, obviously you're hosting shows now. Well, that's probably the reason you have me on.
Yes,
I do host a morning show on this station on ESPN Madison,
and it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's almost as good as this one. Yeah. So what is your favorite team? Do you have a team that you still have a die-hard, you want to see them win sort of a passion for?
Yeah, I mean, the Miami Heat, I watch every single game, including last night where they beat the Hawks. The last game when they lost to the Hawks, I watch all the Patriots games. I have a weird fandom, obviously, and of course, I want Wisconsin to win as much as possible. I'm not as tied as I used to be because there's less people involved in the program now than I know. Now they could get to know me and I could get to know them. And let's work on that, Jim. I'm putting that on you.
All right.
I'm just saying. But yes, I mean, so the Heat specifically are the team that I would say I'm most invested in.
So we have a poll question here, but I want to put context for it. So Ben Johnson joined Pardon My Take, and with two Bears fans, and he was asked a question if he could. Well, let's just play the audio.
Maybe a Patriots fan and a Bears fan, but go ahead.
Well,
go ahead.
Ben Johnson did give him a hard time for that too. So, let's hear this audio.
We got to interview Caleb on the podcast back in August of last year, and I asked him this question. I'm curious to know your answer to it as well. But if there was a button that you could press, and if you pressed the button, the Bears would win 10 Super Bowls, but one random Bears fan would die, would you press that button?
Whew. I already gave up my life, so as long as they build a statue being like he died for 10 Super
Can I
Bowls.
not just give a body part instead?
Yeah.
Pinky?
Yeah, which
Pinky?
body part would you sacrifice?
Well, I've got the 3 kids. My wife is already telling me what I need to do next.
Uh-huh.
So I guess we can go with the testicles.
That
right?
works.
Yeah.
That works. Done.
She said I'm good.
You didn't have to do both of them. You could have just said one.
One's fine.
Okay, just one.
Dog.
So, Evan, pick what team, Badgers, Heat, or whatever. We're asking specifically Packer fans, if you could guarantee a Super Bowl next season, would you cut off your pinky or your thumb, or I'm not cutting off anything to guarantee a Super Bowl victory for my Packers. So, apply it to your favorite team. Would you cut off your pinky or thumb or anything like that for your favorite team?
Okay, so I would not, but I would not for this reason. And I'm curious to know if Packers fans went here as well, because obviously, Matt, you live and die with this.
Yep.
The fact that your team has won so much in your lifetime, like you have multiple Super Bowls in your lifetime, doesn't that impact it a little bit?
Totally.
Like, what did you say, Matt? Would you cut off the finger to win the Super Bowl this year?
Well, at first I hedged. I was like, can I just do like to the first knuckle on my pinky?
Like a Ronnie Lott style thing, yeah.
Yeah. And Ryan said, no, it's got to be the whole finger. And that, I mean, I think I ended up voting no for the same reason that I told Jim you were going to vote no. You've seen your teams win multiple championships. Like, why are you going to...
So let's do it this way. Because, Matt, you and I answered obviously the same way.
Yeah.
Would the person listening right now in Madison, who has obviously never seen the Badgers win a national championship in football or basketball, or see the Brewers, recently win the World Series, would you give up the finger for that?
For all three?
Or one of them?
Oh, I didn't even think about it that way. That's a good one, Matt. Because now we're good. No, let's just do Badgers then. Let's just do Badgers. Would you give up the finger right now for this year, starting with this Badger basketball team, to win it all with Coach Gard and then win it all with Coach Fickle, literally back-to-back, give up a finger?
Ooh. That's trickier for me.
You almost gave up a thumb for 10 Packer Super Bowls. So, that is true.
That's tricky because, I was not a Badger. I was not smart enough to go to the UW. But I've always been a Badger fan. It's just a pinky. I think I could probably swing that for 2 championships, like the next coming championships that they play in. I think I do
Jim,
that.
what about you? Jim, what about you? Because you did not go to UW-Madison like I did. No big deal.
Yeah.
But
also,
your
Jim
fandom,
wasn't smart enough for that.
Your fandom runs deep for the Badgers, right? I mean, you've covered them and you do root for them, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Would you give up a finger for 25 and 26, the Badgers to win titles, basketball, football?
I'm going to say
and
no.
Let's put volleyball in there also.
Yeah,
on ESPN Madison.
I'm going to say no because I would imagine I've already given up fingers for the Bears to get a title because I would give up probably multiple to get a Super Bowl with the Bears. So I would pick the Bears in this scenario, so I would be short fingers to begin with.
Ugh.
But if I could pick one of them, I would pick football because it seems the most far-fetched at this point. Like, basketball seems like it's possible. Volleyball, obviously possible. Football, it feels like an impossible dream that they're winning a national championship.
Right.
Anytime soon.
Yeah. So I think I might. I think I'm in, Evan. I also did think of another interesting one for you as a guy who's seen multiple championships. Would you lose your pinky finger and guarantee that there will be another championship in your lifetime? Or if you say no fingers, you don't get to see another championship, period?
I want to keep my fingers because if you make me give up fingers for championships, I would want my kids in the sports that they play to win titles. That's kind of like my fandom, which shouldn't be that way, is like rooting for them, and I probably get a little too into it at times. It needs to calm down a little bit in the fandom there. But that's where it would go. But I don't want to blow over one thing that was just said, and maybe this is not a bold statement by any stretch of imagination. Jim, you just said, and Matt and I sat back and let you say it, which I don't think you're wrong. You said it is so far-fetched to even think the Badger football team could win a championship, but I could see the Badger basketball team doing it. Is it like official in your mind that we are a basketball school and not a football school? Is that what you're saying?
I would say for the next 3 years, I'm betting on Badger basketball to be more impressive than Badger football.
No caveats. No caveats. University of Wisconsin-Madison. Basketball school or football school?
I mean, this is actually not great because the basketball team has underperformed in March, but it's a basketball school. Since Luke Fickell has arrived, it's a basketball school.
Wow.
Actually, since Paul Chris last year.
Do you blame Luke Fickell arriving? Because I think it's something else.
No, it's Paul Chris was part of it.
No, I'm going to tell you what it is. I don't think enough people have talked about this.
Okay.
The moment Mark Tauscher joined the broadcast, I thought the football team went downhill. Rubbish. I mean, I think why don't we look at the record of the team since Tauscher's been there versus the same amount of years prior and see what the records are? Because I don't think enough people are bringing up that Tausch has brought the program down.
You know, you're talking about, Matt, back in the day when I was down in Florida, I covered basically the worst team in that team's in Florida's history. So the worst Miami Heat.
Matt, this was unbelievable.
I covered the Miami Heat, their worst season they ever had. I covered the Miami Marlins' worst season they ever had. Florida Panthers when they were terrible. The Miami Hurricanes when they got like smoked the last game at the Orange Bowl and they're like crying as they leave the field.
There.
Yeah, and so like I covered every horrible team in
South
Florida history.
The Dolphins.
And the Dolphins with one win. The one-win Dolphins.
15?
Yes.
No, Matt.
And when did you move back here?
I moved back here 2008. Like my record was like 15-72 covering teams.
No, Matt. This is for real. People have to understand this. So, and this was a big year professionally for Jim. I think it was 2007. Okay,
Yeah.
Jim was like rising up the food chain in terms of broadcast and coverage and whatever. So like, the station really trusted him. We're like, all right, we're gonna cover all these teams. Jim's next person up. Jim, it's all yours. I'm not kidding. The Heat and the Dolphins were the two biggest pro teams that we talked about on a day-to-day basis. Jim Rutledge covered two teams in basketball and football that combined for 16 wins that year.
That is
16.
rough.
Take that for data.
Yeah, and that Miami team started with Dwayne Wade and Shaq. They just didn't play.
And by the way, Primetime doesn't even realize what he just did. The drop you just played, David Fisdale was an assistant coach on the Heat team that Jim covered.
Take that for data.
Wow.
That's Fizz.
I rival the curse of Tauscher for sure.
You don't rival it. You blow it out of the water. You are
Jim is the jinx.
Am I the jinx here? Well, when I came up here,
we've already accused you of being a jinx.
That is fair. When I stopped covering the Packers day to day, they went to the Super Bowl. So yeah, that was hard to give up.
Let's go.
It was worth the personal sacrifice to just see them, hold them back.
God.
Wait, by the way, Matt, you did not answer. Wisconsin right now, basketball school or football school on the men's side?
Oh man. Yeah, it might be more of a basketball school, but in my mind and in my heart, I still think it's a football school. So I'm gonna go football, but basketball's definitely been more successful, and they've been kind of a letdown in March.
I mean,
Time, where are you on this? Basketball school or football school?
If we're going strictly based off this athletic season, this athletic year, it's basketball. But overall, it's still a football school. If the Badgers go and win 8 games next year, and if the Badgers go and make it to the Sweet 16 or even the Elite 8, the Badgers winning 8 games next year will be a bigger deal in football.
So
8 is the bar to get it back to football.
Have you seen the schedule?
But does that make it a football school if they get 8?
Against that schedule, maybe.
Okay.
Honestly, I would make a case.
I think Jim, that's the answer is yes, because what Primetime is saying is that all the Badger football team needs to do is get to 8 for everyone to be on board. I think what you're saying, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think what you're saying is the Badger basketball team needs to get to like the final 4 to get everybody's attention.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't even think Sweet 16 does enough. Like, it gets people excited.
The Elite Eight is basically where I start like teetering. Like, oh wow, this is the real deal.
I mean, the last time they made it there, I think when they lost to Florida, the Chiozza shot, was that the Elite? That was to go to the Elite Eight, I think. So I mean, like, it's been that long, but even then, like, yeah, I think that's how much you have to do to get people that invested in basketball again.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's not good.
We're kind of a football state, just in general.
Yes. Yes, but well, I want to get to Evan. Have you had a chance to see the Alex Strofe video from ESPN Milwaukee running the combine, running in quotes?
I did.
There?
I actually put out a video. I put out a video myself that they used on ESPN Milwaukee, I believe, and you guys may have used it in Madison as well, addressing that, because I think it was the single worst athletic feat I've ever seen in my life, and I sit there in studio every single day on Unsportsmanlike, on the TV side, on 2 and U. ESPN 2 and U, with my high school football jersey behind me, and I threw 8 interceptions in one game. But here's the thing. That's pathetic, I'm aware. But I was in the arena, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Strofe, I honestly didn't think that was real at first.
Right?
Yeah, that was Matt Hamilton's first reaction.
I was like, that's fake for sure.
I don't understand, because he looks... Now, again, people have to go to the video on social. I'm sure you put it out.
So actually, I didn't want to interrupt you. It is on ESPN Madison's YouTube right now, replaying over and over and over again as we talk to you. So you can go on that, or you can go to ESPN Madison or ESPN Milwaukee social as well.
Yeah. So, like, he's not in real life. He's like, seems like a pretty in shape, fit, like, athletic-looking guy, right?
Right.
More athletic than this.
He looks like.
But yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing, Jim. You and I have done athletic things together at different points in our lives.
Yeah.
Neither of us look like some like big time athlete.
No.
But like we would put him to shame.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like he's running, trying to hold in a fart. You know what I mean? Like, it looks like something else is going on.
Well,
do you think that's possible?
No, we know Alex
with
Strofe. He's not holding
IBS,
it in.
Anything's
He's
possible.
not holding it in, though. I mean, we've been around him. He doesn't hold it in.
No idea.
No, and by the way, I've admitted, I want to be clear, I've admitted on air, on ESPN Radio, on Unsportsmanlike, that there was a time, or multiple times actually, where I was running outside, and I thought it was one thing, and it was another thing, and when I got home, it was the other thing that you didn't want it to be. And I don't even think in that moment, Matt, I looked as awkward, literally crapping my pants, as Strofe did not crapping his pants.
So
I believe you. That's how bad Alex Strofe is. At least it looks athletically. I believe that comment.
Talking with Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. You can hear that weekday mornings here on ESPN Madison. Evan, you've hosted with a lot of people. You've had a lot of different producers. Is Alex Strofe the least athletic person you've ever been around in radio? And it's not an athletic field, so there's a lot of candidates.
No, I mean, there's too many people I can mention that people in Madison wouldn't know the names. I'll just say it this way.
Yeah.
I think so, but there was also a moment in watching that where I literally had this realization. I'm like, as bad as I think I am athletically, I am Matt Hamilton compared to Alex Strofe. I am an Olympian. I am legitimately an Olympian. I have rightfully picked a field where I am so clearly more athletic than so many people. They put this video out of me on the Unsportsmanlike social media throwing a football like a quarterback competition. I thought I looked terrible and I didn't look great throwing, but here's the thing. Then I saw Strofe's video. I was Brady and Mahomes combined compared to that.
It is a confidence boost. So I want to we'll play if you're listening or if you're watching on ESPN Madison YouTube. We had Nolan Winter on the Jump Around earlier today. He joins the Jump Around every Thursday at 1:00. Jump Around, a Badger dedicated digital show, and we played. So you'll have a chance to see it on the ESPN Madison YouTube. Otherwise, you can listen. Evan, I want you to hear this. We played the video of Alex Strofe for Nolan Winter and asked him to give a kind of a recap of it. And I had to explain to him, Nolan, one, it's okay to be honest, and two, this is not a farce. This is a real video. So let's hear from Nolan Winter, our Badger guest on the Jump Around.
He put this video out there, and he's getting made fun of, really, even on a national level. So, Ryan, can we put this video up for Nolan, and then, Nolan, you can give your scouting report on it.
You run so high.
We'll run it one more time.
You run so high.
All right,
He looks like he needed a foam roll or something. He looked a little on his side, all curled up, and his legs didn't look like they were getting too extended. But no, he's got some work to do. I see the potential though. He could get there. Just he's got to work with someone a little bit, but room for potential for sure. Yeah.
He is 27 years old. He is not a child. He is built like a child. But that is a grown man.
So, pretty brutal assessment there from Nolan Winter on Alex. Thinking basically Alex was a high schooler.
Roller. He needs a foam roller, is what he said, right?
Right. Yep.
So the two elite level athletes, Matt Hamilton and Nolan, there.
Yeah.
One said he looks like he's holding in a fart. The other said he needs a foam roller.
Yeah.
You know what? The other thing that disappointed me with this on Strofe, I don't know how you guys felt, but like it didn't seem like it was max effort. Like, I didn't get the feeling that he really, really was trying. Like, there's a guy a teammate of ours at ESPN West Palm that Jim knows very well, a guy by the name of Jeremy. We call him JMP.
Mm-hmm.
One of the worst athletes you'll ever see in your life. But when we've asked him to do athletic feats, you feel like he's Favre the day after his father died, the Raiders game.
Yeah.
With the effort that he is showing, playing through, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the disappointing thing with Strofe, guys. I didn't sense any effort from him.
I mean, I hope that I honestly think that was maximum effort, and that's just a really sad example of what maximum effort looks like.
That can't be. That can't be maximum effort.
I would hope not. But
Matt,
I asked him yesterday if that was real, and he's like, "That was definitely real. I did not pull any punches. I didn't try and do it with any sort of caveat in mind. I went for it." He goes, "It was my first time doing it, so I think I could do better next time." But that was real.
Matt, he's the same guy.
Okay, so then I have another question for you guys on this. Okay.
Yep.
So we've been talking for months on our show about Canty and I racing in the 40-yard dash.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's 6'8", 330. But I believe when he did it at the combine, it was under 5, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Now, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So what is your gut feeling? Who wins that race? CC or me?
How long has he been out of the game?
Oh, God, when was his last year? Look that up. I should probably know that off the top of my head. I mean, when in 2011,
it's like 15?
15 or 14, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm seeing 15 for the Ravens.
Yeah, well, Ravens was definitely his last team. You're right about that.
What was...
You have a knee surgery? Like, what's his knees like? Like, that's, you know...
No, I'm
He's
assuming...
had a bunch of surgeries.
Then I'm going with you.
I'm assuming you guys a proper time to limber up and everything.
Well, I can tell you there's been some conversation, nothing confirmed, and we're getting to a point of, like, we either have to do it or not, because there's been conversation about us doing it at the draft.
Okay.
So we're going to the draft thanks to Travel Wisconsin. So shout out to Travel Wisconsin, the great people there. And we have that contest running, and if people can go to the Travel Wisconsin social media and website on that. And we need to figure out if we're going to do it, because if we're going to do it, now I run every day, but I don't, I run multi-miles.
Right.
I don't run 40-yard dashes, and obviously he doesn't either. So I don't think I want to do this without training, but I do think I could beat him, and I've been saying that. But then he told me that he did the under 5 40-yard dash. I'm like, how is that
4.98?
He's enormous.
Yeah.
He is absolutely enormous. So that's unbelievable.
I think I got to go Chris Canty. As an athlete myself, I'm not going to bet on the radio host over the athlete. Like, I would not expect anyone in my situation when I have a bet with Jim to pick Jim over me, right? So for that same reason, I think Chris Canty puts you in the dust.
Matt, I got to tell you, that is the right answer by you specifically. I think you answered the right way. What's going to be very interesting is the next answer. Go ahead, Mr. Rutledge, who also may claim on being a former athlete playing 1 year of college basketball.
No, I'm not going to claim that. I would say I'm going you because knee injuries and even Canty at 42, they're devastating.
I'm older than that. I'm 44.
I know, but you've not, my knowledge, have had multiple knee surgeries. So I think that's going to slow Chris
not
down.
Until I do this race.
Right. After this race, it'll be different. So I'm going off of the knees. And as a guy who's 44, who played a lot of basketball, my knees ache a lot. I couldn't imagine someone who's actually had major surgery and had to work through it. So
it's got to warm them up.
I'm around, Tarek Sala, Derek Engler, Mark Tauscher. The knees go and athleticism
Tausch,
goes.
No, you can't play Tausch. Tausch, I'd beat her in the 40 backwards.
Right, but I'm saying that.
Backwards
But
beat him.
Tauscher, when he played, was a dancing bear, but now his knees and the joint, like all that's kind of going, and apparently he still can move for pickleball. But my point is, the athletes when the knees go, I think that's it. So that's why I would go with Evan.
Yeah, Tausch makes himself out to be some big-time pickleball player. I would destroy him. I would absolutely destroy him.
Well, maybe we can add that to the little gauntlet at the draft.
I'll do it. I'll play Tausch. I will play Tausch and pickleball at the draft.
Tausch has got a pickleball thing up there. He's a part of it with, I think, Donald Driver. So, yeah, we'll have to make that happen.
Yeah.
Evan, we went way over. Thank you so much for hanging out and basically making fun of Alex and me. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, that's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. We'll take a quick break here, and we'll come back and give away some highlights. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Well, no, we need some callers, Jim.
I said I was going to come back and give back.
Okay.
You want?
We're bringing Molly back. Yeah.
The Green Bay Packers have had an easier time replacing Aaron Rodgers than they have replacing Mason Crosby.
Your statement is utterly ridiculous and true simultaneously.
Molly Brown returns to Jim, Matt, and Molly Tuesday, March 4th. You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. Ranked matchup. A big road test for number 11 Wisconsin heading to number 8 Michigan State Sunday. Nolan Winter and the Badgers ready to make a statement. The sophomore during his weekly appearance on the Jump Around Digital Show.
We've had this one circled for a while. Breslin Center is one of the toughest places to play in college basketball, and I think all of us just love that challenge. We went into Mackey knowing that that's one of the toughest places and one of the tougher teams when they're at home, and we went in there just looking forward to it, playing with joy, just executing what we do, and if we can do that to our fullest potential, then we can beat anyone.
Get 0% interest for up to 6 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Our team installs year-round, so why wait? Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson from Madison Weight Loss. I'm here in studio with Gideon. Gideon, thanks so much for being here. Why did you join the Madison Weight Loss program?
I was struggling with weight. Finally, I reached out and they assured me that, this works. And so I decided to join the program, and I am really glad I did.
Hey, I'm glad you did too. How much weight did you lose?
I have lost a little over 50 pounds, and I did that in a 60-day program.
Wow, 50 pounds is a great number. Besides the weight, what changes have you seen in your health?
The 3 major changes that I have seen is acid reflux, heartburn, and better quality of sleep.
That's all awesome to hear. I also had a ton of success losing weight with Madison Weight Loss. What helped you be most successful working with this program?
The accountability through the tracking app that they have. You learn to eat much healthier, and at the end of it, you feel very satisfied.
And last one for you, Gideon. What would you tell someone like us who has a weight loss goal in mind and wants to think about working with the team at Madison Weight Loss?
Do it. It's absolutely worth it.
Schedule a free consultation in person or virtually at MadisonWeightLoss.com.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 100.5 ESPN.
Lillard's going to tee up a 3, and he splashes it through for the left wing.
Brought to you by Michelob Ultra, the official beer of the Milwaukee Bucks.
The Bucks saw their 4-game winning streak come to an end as they fell to the Houston Rockets 100-97 down in the Lone Star State. Rebounding and turnovers did the Deer in as they got beat on the boards 53-37, including 16-4 on the offensive glass to go along with 13 turnovers. Giannis paced Milwaukee with 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists in the loss.
Inbound pass coming from Giannis on the side. Gets it to Lillard around half court. Dame's got it. He's going to feed to Giannis. Giannis stuffs it down with 8.5 seconds to go.
Damian Lillard chipped in 22 points while Brook Lopez and A.J. Green each added 12. The Bucks dropped to 32-25 on the season. They're back home at Fiserv Forum Thursday night when they welcome the Denver Nuggets to the Brew City.
This has been your Milwaukee Basketball Report on Madison's home for Bucks basketball, 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra.
Outside In. That's what we call our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the cool stuff you want outside in your yard displayed inside. Patios, decks, pavers, and an automated pergola, fire pit, outdoor kitchen, a putting green, and in-ground pool. Even a converting 3-season room that's either outside or inside. We are Outdoor Living Unlimited. Your outdoor living potential awaits you at our Outside In showroom, 2018 South Stoughton Road. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by the return of Molly Brown to Jim, Matt, and Molly. Molly returns to the show this Tuesday, March 4th, and we're celebrating with special remote broadcasts around Madison all week long. Molly Brown returns this Tuesday to Jim, Matt, and Molly on ESPN Madison. And going back on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel, you can watch Nolan Winter, Badgers big man, joining the show with Jim Rutledge and Pablo Iglesias. He talked about this past week's games against Oregon and Washington, and also the team's mindset heading into the game against Michigan State at the Breslin Center on Sunday.
We've had this one circled for a while. Breslin Center is one of the toughest places to play in college basketball, and I think all of us just love that challenge. We went into Mackey knowing that that's one of the toughest places and one of the tougher teams when they're at home, and we went in there just looking forward to it, playing with joy, having fun there, just executing what we do, and knowing that if we can do that to our fullest potential, then we can beat anyone.
Listen back to that appearance on Wisconsin On Demand, wherever you get your podcasts, or watch back on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. Some other basketball action in the state of Wisconsin tonight. The Bucks taking on the Nuggets at Pfizer Forum. That's a 7 p.m. tip-off, so pregame starts at 6:30 right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
I love how you point out like fencing is not cool, but like curling. I mean, like Matt, where you made fun of.
Yeah, but Matt's cool now, though.
We won curling. You remember when curling Matty Hamilton won into Canada and said, "This is our game now"? You remember that when you guys throw that rock on the ice and he curve it like it's bocce, but we win it.
I don't know.
If I went fencing and won a gold medal, it
but
would be
there's
cool.
a difference between dressing up like a knight in shining armor and going poke poke versus like sweep 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 sweep.
Lovely sound effect.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
Hour number 2 of Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. It is glorious outside. It's actually no longer Jim, Matt, and Molly after dark. Molly Brown's still at babies, but she's back soon. Jim Rutledge, Matt Hamilton with you in the Everlight Solar Studio. And we're going to start the show off, hour number 2, a little differently. Because we had Evan Cohen on from Unsportsmanlike for a very long time, and we ran long. So I'm going to give away some High Life right now. I'm going to give away a case of High Life to caller number 3. 844-770-3776. Caller number 3 wins a case of Miller High Life. 844-770-3776. Caller number 3 wins a case of High Life. So that takes Primetime Wollersheim off the show for a little bit here while he answers the phone. So, Matt, I'm going to review our Siding Unlimited poll question, and then I want to get to a question that's, again, not so sporty, but there's not a ton of stuff going on in sports right now. And we did ask the question. Ben Johnson said he'd be willing to cut off his family jewels for the Bears to win 10 Super Bowls. Which finger would you be willing to cut off for the Packers to win a Super Bowl this next season? And 61% of you said not worth it. 38% of you said you cut off a pinky finger. You can chime in on that on the Carbos Talking text line, 844-770-3776. But I wanted to talk about Gene Hackman passed away.
Oh, yeah.
And Gene Hackman, I think, obviously for our audience, is most famous as the head coach of Hoosiers.
Yep.
In the Hoosiers movie. I would say, is that the movie that stands out to you overall for Gene Hackman, or what? Is there other movies?
I mean, that one's a big one. I liked Behind Enemy Lines. I think it's Owen Wilson in that one. Gene Hackman was obviously amazing in that. Let's see. He's been in so many movies. It's hard to remember which ones, because he's one of those actors who I totally buy their character and I stop seeing the actor and I'm just totally invested in whatever they're selling, so to speak.
Yep.
So Gene Hackman is definitely one of those guys for me. So I'm actually scrolling through some of these right now.
I can give you some. So Norman Dale was his character on Hoosiers, which I think we could ask a poll question. Who else would be on it? But Norman Dale, was he the greatest fictional coach of all time? And then I guess
it could be Denzel and
that's based off a true character. I guess this is as well. So maybe he's not a fictional coach. Best movie coach then?
Yeah, but best movie coach, Coach Carter, Denzel would be a good one too.
Yeah.
oh my gosh, why am I blanking on his
How
name?
about Burt Reynolds in The Longest Yard?
He's a player coach though, right?
Yeah.
Al
here's the
Pacino
thing.
and,
Let's not knock player coaches. Will Ferrell in as the coach, manager, GM, and star forward for the Flint Tropics in Semi-Pro.
That's a good one.
I forget what his character's name is, but
So,
Jackie Moon.
Yeah.
Jackie Moon, elite coach.
So you can chime in with your favorite Gene Hackman movie, but you also can chime in, and we'll kind of crowdsource here for our second poll question. Who's the greatest movie coach? Now this does get tricky because then you could just go with who is the coach of the Miracle Team? All of a sudden escaping me there too.
Oh, that's Kurt Russell is the
Yes.
actor. Goodness gracious.
Who's the name of the coach?
Minnesota guy, a legendary coach. I'm really embarrassed it's not escaping me there, but
Yeah.
I mean he's a legendary coach, so you could just go with the obvious ones there. But Hoosiers is also I don't know how sensationalized it is compared to the USA Hockey movie, but
It's less sensationalized than Miracle with head coach Herb Brooks.
Herb Brooks,
Played by
yes,
Kurt
yes,
Russell.
yes.
How do we forget that?
Gosh, we are not Americans.
No, that's a big miss there. So 844-770-3776. So Brett in the Grove chimes in with the movie Unforgiven for Gene Hackman, which is a great one. I knew him a lot from a kid. He was Lex Luthor in the Superman movies.
Yeah.
And I definitely enjoyed him as Lex Luthor in the Superman movies. When I got older, I watched French Connection, which is a classic movie, I think from the 70s that he was in.
Early 70s.
Yeah, that was one I think I watched in one of my film classes. But he's been around for a long time. And Mississippi Burning was one I think I watched in school.
Yeah.
He was really good in that. Not a movie you watch more than once. He was good in The Firm. He did Wyatt Earp, another cowboy movie, Quick and the Dead. And then he does run the gamut of doing westerns to sports movies to a couple, other types of The Replacements.
He's the
a
bad
coach.
guy in a
He's
couple.
Coach Jimmy McGinty in The Replacements. He does play. Then he also has a little late run with the Royal Tenenbaums, where he's Royal Tenenbaum, and that was probably his last best role. His last role overall was Welcome to Mooseport with Ray Romano, which was not a good movie.
No.
But Royal Tenenbaums, Behind Enemy Lines, and Runaway Jury, his last three movies before that were pretty good. So you can chime in with your favorite Gene Hackman movie in honor of him passing away, and your favorite, we'll just go with this, your favorite movie, coach. So it can be a great one. It could be one that you just enjoyed. The inches that we need are everywhere. That was a good one. Coach Carter, I enjoy, but my understanding is that one was pretty sensationalized. So I actually struggle with the movies that were based on a true story, because so many of them, the based on a true story, are loosely based on a true story. If they ever did make your curling story of winning the gold medal, they would probably create so much conflict
right
on a personal level that didn't exist in real life to make it more interesting.
Yeah.
The one that comes to mind around the Olympics is that Cool Runnings is almost entirely fictional, outside of the idea of a Jamaican bobsled team
and them flipping and
but
crashing in the
everyone was supportive.
Right.
Everyone wanted them to do well. There's not some disgraced coach coaching them. Everyone was like, yes, this is amazing. And but that's not a good story. But everyone was behind them doing it.
Yeah.
And so you creating that much of a villain out of something that didn't exist.
I don't think that they really made people think I think they were just giving the vibe that, you're here as essentially a sideshow. Right?
Yeah, but that wasn't the case. I mean,
that was the actual case, because all the actual athletes that were competing against them knew that they were zero threat.
Right, but all of the athletes in real life were like, we want to be here. We want to help you do the best you possibly can. Nobody was going out of the way.
We're not worried about your best being good
but
enough
it wasn't
to beat
us. It's honestly voted one of the least true movies of all time that's based on a true story.
Okay.
It is horrendously bad.
I can buy that.
On how and I just feel bad for the people who were in those Olympics and people part of USA bobsled were like, this is awful. You're making us look horrible, and we didn't do any of these things. And that's happened a few times in some of these made for based on a true story.
Right.
And they took someone and made them worse than they were in real life. And then they've sued and been like, you made me look like a horrible person, and I didn't do any of these things. So It does get a little bit dicey. For over 35 years, J&K has been Madison's trusted name in security. Whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, they're your one-stop shop for all things security. From cutting-edge intercom systems for your office to simply replacing that old lock on your front door, they've got you covered. With a network of top-tier suppliers, they create customized solutions tailored just for you. At J&K, customer service is their top priority, and your peace of mind is always their mission. Visit them today at jksecurity.com and experience the J&K difference. Your home, your business, their priority. Mark Tauscher coming up next.
We're bringing Molly back. Yeah.
We don't speak about
Speak
her.
about rivals.
We are not rivals. Yeah, me and Kay are not on the same level in the same sense that Matt thinks that the Bears and the Packers aren't on the same level.
Molly Brown returns to Jim, Matt, and Molly Tuesday, March 4th.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
ESPN Wisconsin celebrates National Girls and Women in Sports Day all month long. Tune into ESPN Wisconsin's special program, Lead Her Forward, hosted by Jen Latta and Michelle Smallman, presented by Love Madison Volleyball. The show features a variety of special guests celebrating the achievements of women in sports. Listen to inspiring stories and hear how they're breaking barriers for future generations. Catch Lead Her Forward on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
We ask and you answer. Tune in to Jim, Matt, and Molly every weekday 4 to 6 and follow at Jim, Matt, Molly on X to vote in daily poll questions presented by Siding Unlimited, your local window installation pros. Green Bay Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers. Chalmers Jewelers, with locations in Middleton and downtown Madison.
What did you call yourself, Thundercat? Well, I appreciate it, Thunder.
Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer
Matt Hamilton. Help me out. Who is that?
Wisconsin football analyst.
You know what? It feels like Molly's the only one that's being sincere about that. So, Molly, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Mark Tauscher on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers. Chalmers Jewelers, with locations in Middleton and downtown Madison.
We are thrilled to be joined by Packer Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher here on Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do, Matt Hamilton.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
And I'm going to pass the mic over to you, and you guys can decide who wants to crush whom, because you have conflicting takes on the Packers making a complaint or submitting a request to the Rules Committee to take a look at the tush push. So I'll let you give your take to Mark, and then Mark can react.
So, Mark, this is with the best of my knowledge and the information that has been put in front of me. The Packers were the only team in the NFL to submit a complaint about the tush push. That, to me, is a cringy move. Like, you needed more teams to go in on it with you, or at least seem like you weren't the only ones that were so upset, like so hurt in their own feels that they can't stop a play that everyone knows is coming, that they had to get this just outright banned. Now, I'm anti-tush push, but I just don't think I want to be the guys initiating the banning. Am I totally off base thinking that?
You are. Listen, you need to step out and lead sometimes, and it's lonely out there. And by the way, I think just listening to the combine, some of the coaches that are there, Sean McDermott, Morris from the Falcons, they've all said the same thing that Mark Murphy's done. And one of the things you have to remember is I think the owners, sometimes they want to put out trial balloons, and Mark Murphy's the perfect trial balloon guy. He has been asked to do things like this. I think most coaches and owners are looking at this saying this play does not add entertainment value. That's really tough to officiate. And for everybody that is pro-tush push, and I get why Philadelphia is, they're really good at it and it helps them, and I think it helps them win a championship. And great. I am not of the, well, you got to stop and all this. I have learned that sports is about entertainment. And now when you start adding gambling and some of the other stuff in, just imagine, and for everybody that is this, oh, you got to leave the tush push, just think back to the NFC Championship game. And the ridiculousness of a ref having to get on a microphone and say, if you don't stop that, we will give them points. Who are we giving the points to? I don't know. I mean, the fantasy football equation of it, the gambling part of it, and that alone should be enough to say, all right, well, you can still quarterback sneak, you can do all this, but you can't continue to do this. It is a play that is not bringing a ton of entertainment value to the game, and I know they're saying it's not causing any extra injuries. I'm going to tell you right now, defensive lineman and offensive lineman, it's an injury waiting to happen. You got guys scrambling to the ground, biting, clawing, fighting for those 3 inches of turf to try and score. There's nothing. I just don't think the juice is worth the squeeze when you start factoring all of it in. And from me being embarrassed from the Packers doing it, not at all. Somebody's got to step out and do it. And I'm glad that the Green Bay Packers are the team to do it.
Hey, that is an interesting take. Because I'm totally with you. I don't think it adds entertainment value.
It sounds like you are, Jim. Jim's pitting us against each other. It sounds like you weren't real. I mean, Jim, am I crazy?
You called it cringe, Matt.
No, it was cringe. I want to be very clear. I am anti-tush push. I just didn't want to be the leaders of this crusade. This was not my the hill I wanted the Packers to die on, was the tush push. I felt like there's plenty of other teams that could do that. But again, I don't understand the NFL hierarchy. Obviously, you have billionaire owners, and then you have a voted on president and Mark Murphy. Maybe they just were like, you know what? Your job is, you're done in a year anyway. Like, why don't you just do this for us, and then we don't have to worry about taking flack or being that cringy team to our fans because we're going to make this stand. Like, thinking about it like that, it makes a lot of sense.
He's a complicated fella.
It just, like, immediately, some of my Minnesota teammates sent in a text. They're like, did anyone else notice that the Packers were the only team to try to block the tush push? And it's like, pretty embarrassing for your boys, huh, Matt? And, like, yeah, my first thought was like, yeah, a little bit. We lost to them the first game of the year and our last game of the year. Makes it seem like sour grapes.
Matt, all you do is say, how many championships you got?
Nah.
That's it. When you get Viking fans that want to talk smack to you,
yep.
First off, who cares? And second off, just say, how's your trophy case looking?
Yeah,
and
I've used it a lot.
Cringy. That's much more cringy to me than saying, oh, you didn't want to do this. Because I would bet the Vikings and a lot of other teams, especially teams with veteran quarterbacks, that's not something that they're going to that they can execute. I'm guessing that the tush push is not going to be a part of the league. It probably will still stay another year, but you're going to only see more and more teams do what the Washington Commanders did. And when that's the case, and if there ever is a point where somebody's jumping off sides that many times and you have to award a touchdown to somebody, the embarrassment and how you have to factor that is 100 times cringier than any of the stuff that you're talking about.
You're probably right.
All right. We had Evan Cohen on last hour, and you kind of just caught a stray out of left field from Evan, so I wanted to get your thoughts on it. We'll play right now for you. Since Luke Fickell has arrived, it's a basketball school.
Wow.
Actually, since Paul Chris last year.
Do you blame Luke Fickell arriving? Because I think it's something else.
No, it's Paul Chris was part of it.
No, I'm going to tell you what it is. I don't think enough people have talked about this.
Okay.
The moment Mark Tauscher joined the broadcast, I thought the football team went downhill. Rubbish. I mean, I think why don't we look at the record of the team since Tauscher's been there versus the same amount of years prior and see what the records are? Because I don't think enough people are bringing up that Tausch has brought the program down.
Thoughts?
Well, I have plenty of thoughts. I'm not 100% sure it will do me any good or, ESPN radio. Man, I love Mike and Mike. You guys love Mike and Mike? That's a lot better.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I could go down, but I am going to stay above the fray with our friend Evan Cohen. I think that's a very dirty low blow by Evco, but that's what I expect from someone like Evan.
So, and actually, speaking of low blows, I wanted to get I'll ask you about probably Badger basketball here, but I wanted to get your thoughts on. It was part of my take. Ben Johnson joined part of my take, and they had a wild out of the left field question for him, and he gave a even more wild answer. So let's hear that.
Not quite yet.
Oh, no, not ready? All right, so I will get to that in a minute there. But, Mark, what team do you feel like that you root for that's gone the longest without a championship that you sacrifice for? Like, if you were going to list a team. Because the Packers have some titles. So the Bucks just got a title. So it's probably like the Brewers, Badger football, Badger basketball. Yeah. Which one of those teams do you feel like you'd, sacrifice the most for as a fan?
I know what I know, and when the audio comes, I know there'll be no team under any circumstance. Maybe my kids, gymnastics or hockey or something, but even then, no, I'm not. I want the Brewers to win a championship. I'd love to see them win a World Series. I think that would be at the top of my list. The Badgers have won a basketball championship, obviously not in my lifetime, but 1941. That's within 100 years, so that's something.
That's something.
Selfishly, obviously, the football team and me, even though the record hasn't been great since I've jumped in there full time, that would be probably, between them and the Brewers, I'm more involved on a daily basis with the football team, and that would be at the top of my list.
All right, so let's hear the audio because I think you know what's coming, but maybe our fans haven't heard it from earlier in the day.
We got to interview Caleb on the podcast back in August of last year, and I asked him this question. I'm curious to know your answer to it as well. But if there was a button that you could press, and if you press the button, the Bears would win 10 Super Bowls, but one random Bears fan would die, would you press that button?
Whew. I already gave up my life, so as long as they build a statue being like he died for 10 Super
Can I
Bowls.
not just give a body part instead?
Yeah,
Pinky.
Yeah, which
Pinky.
body part would you sacrifice?
Well, I've got the 3 kids. My wife is already telling me what I need to do next. So I guess we can go with the testicles.
That
right?
testicles,
That works.
Done.
She said I'm good.
You didn't have to do both of them. You could have just said one.
One's fine. Okay, just one.
Dog. So I'm not going to ask, giving up that appendage, but we did ask Packer fans or fans out there, would you give up your pinky, your thumb, or nothing at all if it guaranteed your favorite team to win a title next year? So that's kind of where I'll spin it to you. Would you give up any?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Nothing?
No. I'm not at that point in my life where I would love to. I mean, I want to see our teams do well and win championships, but I'm not interested in chopping off a pinky,
maiming
or
yourself.
No, it's just not. I'm not there. Maybe I'm just not. I think a lot of people say that, and then when push comes to shove, I mean, the one dude out in Florida State still hasn't eaten poop. I mean, he was supposed to eat poop.
Yeah.
And he didn't. So, it's rubbish. I agree.
To your point, Evan said that the only way he would do it would be for like his kids to win something.
Right.
That's the way. Matt said that he would consider a thumb, though, for 10 Super Bowls for the Packers.
Yeah, in a row.
I bet he wouldn't.
And that's still a bold one, too. Like, it would be a sweet...
Wouldn't you rather do that for another gold medal over anything else?
That wasn't an option.
Winning a gold medal. Yeah, that I could maybe see. The fact, the Packers winning 10 world championships in a row, yeah, there'd be fans. There's no doubt there'd be fans that give up a thumb. I don't think, and I don't know what percentage, but I wouldn't think it's more than 10% of fans would do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're wrong. I think that's crazy. And you make a good point for a gold medal. Like, just for the next one, I'd consider it. Just for 2026, like a year from now, when I'm potentially competing for another gold medal. Yeah, I would at least have the discussion with the devil if that was on the table.
Well, I think Jim has said that he would do that for you.
Oh,
because
perfect.
you guys have been co-hosts for a long time. Jim, I don't know what Jim's going to end up giving up, but he had said that it's that important to him because you guys have been teammates for so long.
Yeah,
that he was willing to. Jim, what are you chopping off?
I might I'd cut off a finger if I got you won it, but I got the.
But you got the medal?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we could probably work something out.
Because you get the bragging rights.
The full finger?
Yeah, you can have the finger.
You wouldn't get it. You're not giving up a full finger for somebody else's gold medal, are you?
I don't know if I actually get the gold though. Like, I don't know. Probably not. Probably not.
That'd be worth like a couple $1,000 on the free market.
I'd have to look into the effects of like losing a pinky. Ronnie Lott cut his finger off to play a football game, so he's I'm sure doing fine.
A long time ago.
It was.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Times are changing, Jim.
Yes. Well, Mark, was a hard-hitting interview. Thanks for hopping on and joining us today.
And Mark, for the record, I don't think you're the Badgers curse.
That's good to hear. Evan does, and Evan might be ESPN. Well, I'm not going to go down that road. I'm going to stay above the fray.
All right.
That's why we love you, Mark.
All right. That's Mark, brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. Madison's custom jeweler. Madison's family-owned jeweler. Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Dinner just got easier and tastier. Pizza Hut's Ultimate Hut Bundle is here to save the day. Starting at just $24.99, you can get any 2 medium pizzas, 8 boneless wings in your favorite flavor, and your choice of cinnamon, cheese, or breadsticks with 2 dips. Feed the family or wow your friends without breaking the bank. The Ultimate Hut Bundle is only here for a limited time. Hurry in and order online today at pizzahut.com. The Ultimate Hut Bundle. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Madison's financial challenges need a Dane County-based bank. Starion Bank is a full-service community bank that delivers quality big bank services with a local approach. We are proud to be there for any budding entrepreneur or small businesses, helping them exceed their financial goals from banking to lending to cash management. Visit a banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, taking you farther.
At Metro Ford of Madison, we're making it easier than ever to find the Ford of your dreams. Check out this month's unbeatable offers, like the 2024 Ford F-150 with 3.9% APR for 66 months, plus $2,000 flex buy cash, $60.86 cost per thousand. Or drive off in the 2024 Ford Escape with 1.9% APR for 66 months, plus $2,000 flex buy cash, $15.97 cost per thousand. Hurry, these offers end February 28th. Head to Metro Ford of Madison today or visit metrofordofmadison.com.
Your warehouse concrete floors see a lot of traffic. Uneven, sinking, or cracked concrete can pose a serious threat to any business operation. From trip hazards to cracked foundations, sinking concrete can keep any business owner up at night. Concrete Lifting Technologies is here to help. Concrete Lifting Technologies can even out that concrete floor to prevent these hazards. They can level your warehouse floor within a few hours and don't even need to shut down your operations. Visit itaintmudjack.com to get a free quote today. That's itaintmudjack.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. Molly Brown still out with babies. We are returning with Molly Brown on Tuesday, and that'll be at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. So swing on out, say hi to Lee, Kevin, and Molly Brown, along with Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton and me, Jim Rutledge, will be at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton on Tuesday. Molly Brown's first show back after being out with babies. Let's throw some stones.
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
That was cooler than being cool. Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out.
I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
All right, guys. Well, there are some things that Jason Woolley's been saying around ESPN Wisconsin related to, well, the Packers situation with Jair Alexander. So this was something he said this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, talking about why possibly, as we were talking about yesterday, right around the same time on Jim, Matt, and Molly. Listen back to yesterday's show on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever we get your podcast. But Jason on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning talking about where did the relationship possibly go wrong with the Green Bay Packers and Jair? Let's listen to what he had to say.
What the hell happened here? Now, the knee injury happened. I don't think any of us is disputing that he hurt his knee on that final defensive play against Jacksonville. But the way things moved forward thereafter, and the day in Chicago where he worked out before the game, said he could give it a go, they kept him active. They were going to have him on a pitch count, and then he pulls himself after 10 plays. That was a problem. And maybe to your point about Goody and LaFleur, maybe the smarter decision would have been to not play and say, look, I don't think it makes sense to have you play partially. Let's just wait and be patient and play you once you're fully healthy. I don't know if that affected it. Goody said it did not make it worse, but he did have arthroscopic surgery in December. So I think it's probably all those folks.
So, guys, let me ask you, after our disagreement yesterday on the show, not quite seeing eye to eye on Jair Alexander and the Packers relationship, does listening to how Jason describes the situation change how you feel at all, or does it reinforce your side? Jim Rutledge, let's start with you.
It doesn't change anything dramatically. I guess how I feel about it. Jair is not like innocent in the situation, but I think there's a case to be made that the Packers maybe don't know how to manage / don't want to be bothered to manage different or difficult personalities. And that's not good. I mean, look at the best teams really in any sport. Most of them are going to have a few wild cards, a few different personalities, especially football. I mean, the Patriots took a shot on Randy Moss, Corey Dillon. They took a shot at Antonio Brown. It didn't work. But teams, really good teams with good culture, will take shots or let players be a little bit out of the ordinary, a little bit extra, whatever word you want to use for how they act at times. But they figure out how to make it work with them. Packers don't have a history of wanting to do that, whether it's not trading for Marshawn Lynch, not trading for Randy Moss, this Jair Alexander situation. Charles Woodson's probably the most, and he wasn't really a malcontent, but the most controversial type player for the Packers. Darius Smith was someone that they moved off as. Those bombastic personalities that push back against coaches and maybe even front office and are a little bit more me than normal are not people that the Packers have necessarily wanted to be associated with. Jair's not innocent in this, but the Packers' unwillingness to try to, soothe over an ego once in a while is part of the problem too.
So I will say that audio does make me think there's a little more blame on the Packers than I initially had given them. But going back to what Jim said, I disagree that the Packers don't have the willingness to deal with big personalities. They just dealt with the biggest personality in football not more than 2 seasons ago in Aaron Rodgers, who's doing Pat McAfee. Like, they let him do his thing, and to their detriment, mind you. So I think, if anything, they were just riding a little bit of a diva hangover with Aaron Rodgers and decided there's going to be a stronger pushback now because they're sick of dealing with potentially diva-like players.
Now, I said that they they're not good at it was the other part of it. Like,
that's true, but I'm just saying, I think they're suffering a little bit of a hangover of having to deal with Rodgers for the last 3-4 years.
That's as soft as the tush push thing. Like, this goes back to not having an owner. Like this, and maybe Mark Murphy leaving, and who's the new? He's got like a weird name.
AI Ed Policy.
Ed Policy, yeah. When maybe Ed Policy is a bolder personality that can be a little bit more of an owner in that situation, and someone that grabs the bull by the horns. But I think this is where not having an owner steps. We've talked about this with Rodgers before. When Rodgers was starting to go off the
Do you think
off
an
the rails,
owner, just having a guy who's literally the owner, can like smooth this kind of thing over with players?
I think it helps.
Do you think that's the owner's job, or is that the head coach's job?
Well, I'm saying it can get to the owner. So in this case, Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying every player.
Kind of like the GM's job.
So like in this point,
personnel.
The owner is not necessarily with Jair, but the owner can go to Goody and be like, "Hey, Jair's good. I don't care about your stupid draft plan. I don't care about your stupid. I want all soldiers and no captains on my team. What I want is you to figure out with Jair, because he's a damn good football player, and I'm going to be really pissed when we look like the New York Giants letting Saquon Barkley go because our feelings were hurt."
So you're saying Jair's going to be Saquon Barkley?
No, I'm just using an owner could come through and be hyperbolic, but I'm saying an owner could come through, same with the Aaron Rodgers thing, and be like, "Hey, Aaron, come talk with me. What is the problem with these guys? And let me do this because it's my team. I can do what I want, procedurally or not. There's no overstep and bounds. This is my team. So let's go sit upstairs and let's talk through this." And maybe it gets solved, maybe it doesn't. Yeah. But when you see it happen with Favre and you see it happen with Rodgers, and then in other situations, like an owner every once in a while, like in theory they should be good businessmen. They might step in, especially in this case. Like Goody does not come across as a personality. He comes across as a pencil pusher who is good at scouting, but is he good at connecting? And LaFleur isn't necessarily the greatest connector. So they're not bad at it, but if there's no strong personalities in the coaching staff or the front office or in the locker room, then you get a team that is maybe a little bit flatter. And again, I'm not saying the Packers are all to blame in this. I'm just saying that, and the Packers obviously are a really well-run organization, but every once in a while I think an owner is useful. Or maybe Ed Policy will just be better at this job.
What if Ed Policy is just laying down the law? He is Ed Policy.
I feel like Murphy was so much worse than Harlan, though.
He's gonna come in with some sweet policies for.
I feel like Harlan was better. Was it Bob Harlan? Is that?
I believe it's Bob Harlan. Yes.
Yeah, I think he was better.
Is he Kevin Harlan's dad?
Yes.
I've always felt dumb to ask that question, but I wasn't sure.
Yes. Yeah. So Sam Decker's grandfather-in-law. Is that how that works?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
The trio.
Did they
of
start the Harlan
celebrities.
Globetrotters? Come on.
So, I felt like the team under Bob Harlan, and maybe this is just conjecture looking back, but a guy like him might be able to. This could be a Murphy problem.
At the time, it could have just been easier personalities to
True,
deal with.
but it also could just be a Murphy problem.
It could be, but I don't think that problem goes all the way to the president. I think that's more of, I think like Matt said, that's either the coach or the GM should be handling that. They're the ones working with players.
I agree.
But, I mean, Jim does make a good point. When a player who might have a problem with the GM or the coach or his positional coach gets sat down by the owner who is clearly the boss and a platform to say your piece, regardless of how it changes, it will make you feel better knowing that you were able to. Now, granted, you hope for something to happen after that, but I could see how that could kind of smooth over some wrinkles that there might be in continuity with your team if you have that platform with the owner.
Or
so I can
reverse
see
it.
this.
It could a little bit of bleep around and find out vibes too. The owner could sit there and be like, Jair, you're gonna end up on the Raiders, man. So stop.
Yeah.
Don't so it could go the other way too.
I think there are very few times where Jim makes a good point, but this is one of them.
Oh wow!
Where I think he did a good job.
So you
with
can
the
tell
owner.
Rutledge that.
So let me ask you guys then, to just settle the age-old conversation about the Green Bay Packers. Are they better off for not having an owner, or are they worse off for not having an owner?
It's one of those. Now they could have an owner because they're never going anywhere ever.
Right. I think if they had an owner earlier, there wouldn't have been the absolute diehard fans that you have now.
There would not be the Green Bay Packers.
Felt like Green Bay to me.
I don't know when that line of demarcation was, but I feel like there probably was a time where someone might just say, I'm going to move the Packers out of Green Bay.
Probably before and after Favre.
Before Favre?
Before Favre, yeah.
I wouldn't say after. I think that solidified it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
that's the line of demarcation.
Life before Favre, life after Favre.
So
had there not been an owner.
Right.
Now that the Packers
Holy
are
Trinity, all that
established,
stuff.
they're a brand, they are the entire city up there, then an owner comes in, they're never moving.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest advantage for the Packers was that, for a long time it might be it's not advantageous to be in Green Bay. Now the way that the league is advanced, the TV is advanced, the fans obviously, but those big network dollars and all of that have kind of made the idea of not wanting to be in Green Bay a null and void.
Right.
And so,
the fandom is what kept them as long as they did.
Yeah.
And then they were able to win and solidify themselves.
So it's the city of Green Bay, I don't know how this works, needed money, and they're like, hey, we need billions of dollars. We're going to sell the Packers to Mark Cuban for $7 billion with the promise he will never move. I don't think the Packers are worse for wear for that.
So let me ask this then, to spin it back to the conversation about Jair. Since the fans are the owners, is that what they do? Jair sits down in front of all the fans and he gets to be heard out in town hall style, judged by the community.
Honestly, I wish there was an open
Amish.
space for that kind of honesty where he could say this is my issue with what was going on and this is why I didn't play.
But
it would offer me a lot of clarity.
There are spaces for that now. They're called podcasts.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Nobody wants him to do the podcast, but here's the point. If he does that with the fans, that leaks out everywhere. To your point earlier, having an audience with one person that that's going to stay there.
What if it's a closed meeting?
Oh yeah.
250 Green Bay Packers fans and Jair.
No.
There's more owners than that.
How many people? Where do you cut it off?
Just
what percentage?
Phil Lambeau, and then he just tells everyone.
Yeah, they just keep a secret.
Just to the owners. Keep it to the owners. It's probably 10,000.
10,000.
I think it's more. I feel like you could fill Lambeau with the owners. I don't know how many owners there are.
Yeah,
80,000. I don't think it's that many. Now we'll look it up during the break. But
If there's not, it's just because they're waiting for another opportunity to print money.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. Yes.
Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. You can go win, and then the next time the Packers want to steal your money for selling you a piece of paper, Rumpelstiltskin style, you can go ahead and spend that cash. Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. That's where winners go. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
We're bringing Molly back. Yeah.
Your outfit today is absolutely god-awful garbage. You look like Napoleon Dynamite. Do you have tater tots in your pocket?
Molly Brown returns to Jim, Matt, and Molly Tuesday, March 4th.
Look, we all know that as we age, our bodies change. But Carbon World Health can help. They have a process of testosterone replacement therapy that includes a diagnostic exam and blood tests to assess your hormone levels to make sure that they are optimal for you, not optimal for your age. Carbon World Health can help you increase your energy, focus, and overall health with their approach to hormone therapy. It's all about quality of life for you. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
Hungry? Quick Trip's got you. No dinner plans? Food's here, and it's a pizza party. Don's pizzas are 4 for just $10. Choose from a variety of toppings. So easy and delicious. Get plenty to eat and keep your wallet happy too.
Food's here, and it's ready when you are. Quick Trip isn't just convenient, it's here to make your life easier and better.
Fuel up at your ultimate destination for snacks and meals that hit the spot. Only at Quick Trip.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
God knows I am reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on. I need her, my babies. Woke up looking for the broccoli. High key, keep a horn on me. That could my seat. IP ownership. The blueprint is by me. Mr. Get Off, I get off at my feet.
I don't understand how the salary cap works in the NFL. I know I joke all the time about there's always money in the banana stand, but goodness gracious, the Chiefs. We'll get to them in a second. Primetime Laura Shine behind the glass in the Everlight Solar studio. He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. Molly Brown back next Tuesday, back from Babies. We are presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue. You know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
And the Chiefs, I just saw today that they franchise tagged Trey Smith.
Chiefs win.
I believe that's his name. And they're going to bring him back at guard at roughly $21-22 million a year. Now, I think they're going to try to work out a longer-term deal, but they tagged him so then he can't get to free agency to specifically my Bears. Now, they could try to trade him or things like that, but and then I just saw that Travis Kelce plans to play in 25. Says can't go out like that.
Chiefs win.
Because initially the thought
winning
was
two Super Bowls in a row and then losing a third.
Losing a third Super Bowl.
Yeah, I can't imagine making it to 3 and winning 2 or 3 of them and then calling it a career.
Right. It is tough there. And I apparently also, and I think Andy Reid or someone said this, that he was dealing with a pretty nasty sick, like a virus the whole week before, so he wasn't kind of lost some weight and everything like that for the Super Bowl. So maybe that's part of it too, like not being able to physically play your best game.
It was a beat down too, so I guess like feeling like
going out like that.
Yeah, I get it. But
I think if he had felt his best, it would have not changed the result.
No, but if he had a bad game and
I get what you're saying.
It had no effect on the game, obviously. Yeah.
If he felt like he could have given more, then you're always going to say that. Tell yourself that someone.
And you got your butt kicked too. Yeah, and so like you don't want to go out like that.
You know what? I take it back. I get it because in 2022, if I would have medaled at that Olympics, I would have heavily considered calling it a career on curling. But getting 4th place was very motivating to want to try and prove that I'm better than, last place in the medal rounds. Oh, it's such a tough way to go. So I guess getting crushed in the Super Bowl after having a 15-1 or 16-1 season, 16-2, I guess the last game.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Well, and look,
I'll buy that.
They go back again, win or lose. It's still like it just adds to the legacy of that team.
Yeah,
and look, I'm sure you're struggling with this. Of like, Team Schuster, you enjoy the company.
Yeah,
he's still boys with Mahomes. Mahomes is still there.
Right.
He's still Andy Reid is like a father figure to him. Like, there's just a lot for him to walk away from. Yeah. And he still played. He's not as good as he used to be, but. He is still a premier tight end in the league based off of what he puts up. He's just not the guy that he was back in the day. But back in the day, I mean, he's a surefire Hall of Famer. Last year, he still caught 97 passes. It's just 823 yards, less than 10 yards per reception, which is the first time in his career he was less than 10 yards per reception. He had the least amount of TDs in his career. But 97 catches, that's still a top number in his career.
The Chiefs were... For a team that was 15-2, I think that's the final regular season record. They were so disappointing in the sense that like they didn't beat the snot out of anybody.
Yep.
Like they didn't. I don't think they scored over 30 until the playoffs.
You're right.
All season.
Yep.
Like they weren't like the high flying, high scoring Chiefs that you expected to see this year. So like Kelce taking a big hit on touchdowns does not surprise me in the least because that team was not a point-scoring machine. They were just like, let's just do enough to win, and then we'll shut her down.
Earlier in the show, we were talking about winning, like what would you give up for the Packers to win a Super Bowl? And next season, most people are not willing to give up anything. If you could get a large number, you consider a thumb. But the 918 chimes in, would Matt give up winning another gold for the Packers to win a Super Bowl, or the Packers never winning a Super Bowl with Love to win gold? Which would you do?
I mean, sorry, Packer fans, I'm taking another gold medal for sure. Importantness. That said, I did tell Jim there is a situation where I would take, like, if I could guarantee that we would have won a gold and I will sacrifice that gold for a Packers Super Bowl, I would do that if I also got a Packers Super Bowl ring from that season. Like if they all acknowledged that what I did was part of it and they were like, Matt, here's essentially the same ring that we gave to Jordan Love.
Yeah.
This ring has your name on it. It has everything else. Like, I would do it then if I got a Packers Super Bowl ring.
All right. I like that. That's not insane. Would you do it if no recognition, but it meant somehow Aaron Rodgers returns to the Packers and he wins the Super Bowl with the Packers next season.
No, I've moved on from that. I moved on from Aaron Rodgers. Doesn't mean I don't like him, but he's done as a Packer. I've come to terms with that. I don't want to deal with it again.
But, like, let's say, God forbid, Jordan Love gets injured, and they're like, we can't go a whole season with our backup situation, so, like,
they went and got Rodgers?
Call Rodgers up.
No, I can't. I wouldn't sacrifice my gold medal for that.
All right. From the biggest place on the court to the comments made in the locker room, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes, no more, no less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Dame, and catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts. Tomorrow we're going to be at Liberty Station, so you can come on by and say hi.
Yeah.
And Molly Brown returns the following week
Extra
on Tuesday.
half hour, too?
What?
Tomorrow?
Next week.
Next
Or no,
week.
tomorrow. It is tomorrow.
It is tomorrow.
It is tomorrow.
I did not sign up for that.
Yeah, Jimmy, extra half hour, me and you.
Have fun. I'm out at 6.
I'll run that show,
Nobody
baby.
told me about that. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Sports Center updates on 100.5 ESPN.